We are joined with 2023 Travelers Champion winner Keegan Bradley. Keegan, welcome back. What's it like to be at a favorite event here in the Northeast?
Yeah, it's really great. I have fond memories of coming here when I was 13 years old. It's my first time getting to see a really PGA Tour player up close. I watched David Duval. It's just still really such a treat for me to come here and play. My favorite place to play, basically in the world, and I look forward to it every year.
Perfect. With that, we're going to go ahead and already open up to questions for you all. Same as always, raise your hand. We'll get a microphone over to you. We'll bring one up here first to Kevin.
Hey, Keegan, on this course specifically, the fourth hole has played as the toughest hole here over the last 5 years, and I was wondering if you could kind of talk through that hole and your game plan for that and what gives that hole its challenge.
Yeah, well, it's a long hole. It's a little dogleg right, and you have to really challenge that right side, not to go in that left bunker, but that right rough is always basically chip out rough. So you have to hit a really nice drive, and then the green is very tricky, especially when that hole's into the wind. It could be a driver and a mid iron. Or a long iron, which is difficult, but that's always one that you, on the front side especially, that you just try to make for.
And after a U.S. Open, it can be kind of a grueling test. In terms of what does your recovery process look like after that tournament, and is it any different than a normal week, or is it all kind of the same?
Yeah, I think there's some pros and cons to the playing the week after the U.S. Open. For me, this is normally a pretty stressful week in terms of coming back home and having tons of family. But after the U.S. Open, this is such a nice change of pace. It's exhausting to play majors, but especially playing U.S. Opens at Oakmont. So I woke up today pretty tired, but I feel better as the day goes on. But tomorrow, once the crowds are here and everything, we'll be good to go.
Is there anything you've added to your recovery process as you've gotten kind of along in your career? Any physical type of work, or is it pretty the same as it was in your 20s?
Yeah, I think for me, especially when I'm playing a couple weeks in a row, 3 weeks in a row, which I'm playing after a major, I have to be really careful in the Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday lead up to the event. I have to be easier on myself. I can't do maybe quite as much as I wanted to do. It's important for me this afternoon to get home and rest, but mostly just a little more rest. But I also have an advantage of having played this course 100 times, so I can I don't have to worry about learning the course.
Moving over to the right side here in the back.
Hey, Keegan, you kind of just touched on it just now, but what are the emotions like kind of in a home game for you right now, and especially when adding that the Ryder Cup's coming up soon as well?
Yeah, it's pretty amazing. The support that I've been getting throughout this year is something that I didn't really expect. Everywhere I go, I'm getting USA chants. People are cheering me on, and I expect it to be. It's always pretty loud here for me, and now this year I think it's going to be really exciting. But it's been something that I hadn't really expected, to be honest, and it's taken me by surprise. And it's just a treat to go out there every day and play as the Ryder Cup captain.
And on another note, Brian was named the new CEO yesterday. Just wondering what your thoughts are on that and if you've had the chance to speak with him yet.
Yeah, I spoke with him yesterday. His resume is incredible. Seems like a really smart guy. I just think the PGA Tour is in such a great spot. A handful of years ago when all this started, I didn't know what was going to happen. I was nervous. I didn't know, how this was all going to end up. But now, years later, I'm really confident in where the PGA Tour is and where it's going. I'm proud to play on this tour, and I've never played. It's never been better than it has been right now, and that was a worry. And now I'm even more excited about the future. It's going to be great.
We're passing just the mic over.
Hey, Keegan, also on the Ryder Cup, I think we're 100 days out now. At the U.S. Open, when you made your last putt, there was a pretty cool moment where the crowd was chanting USA for you, and you were kind of hyping them up. Have you talked to the guys about strategy? Obviously, the crowd's going to be on your side, but just to get the crowd more engaged yet, or is that down the line?
Yeah, I don't think we're going to need to do much to that crowd to get them pretty excited. But I think playing at home, there's a lot of advantages. There's also the crowd is going to be, is going to expect us to do good things. So that's also going to be some pressure. And New York fans will let you know if you're not doing what they hope you're doing. So there's some stuff there. But I think the guys, there's certain guys in our team that's what they do. They get into the crowd, they hike the crowd up, and then there's other guys that just go about their business. And I just want them to be who they are. They don't have to be anybody that they're not. But we certainly have some guys that are going to feed off that crowd and get them excited.
Moving over to the left side, we have Dave, then up to the front to Jim.
Yeah, hi, Keegan. After JJ nearly won the Players' Championship, I'm sure he was well on your radar as far as Ryder Cup and potentially being a part of the team. Having won the U.S. Open now, he's established himself as certainly somebody who's going to get, if he doesn't qualify, strong consideration. Have you talked with him at this point? Obviously, he's doing a lot of meetings in New York. He's coming up here. Do you plan to talk with him at all this week?
Yeah, I've spoken with JJ. I am so thrilled for him to have won that tournament. He's played just so great this year, and I think going to a course like Bethpage Black, the people are really going to be behind a guy like JJ Spaun. His story is incredible. He's a hardworking guy that's just building his whole career, and then to win the U.S. Open at Oakmont, in my eyes, is the pinnacle of major golf. It's as tough as you can get, and I think he's a guy that people at Bethpage will really resonate with, and a guy that on our team is, the heartbeat. He's now the U.S. Open champion, and that's a heavy burden to bear. But that's also a great thing to have on your team, and I'm really proud to have him on this team because it's really difficult to make your first team, and to go out there the way he did this year and play in these big events this well is a testament to what a player he is.
I realize it's been a long time since, well, not a long time, since you won at Atlanta Athletic Club. Were there, looking back at that, your first major championship win, were there things that came afterwards that maybe you didn't expect or that you weren't necessarily ready for in terms of like how you were looked at, perceived, how when you showed up at tournament things were different? Was there anything that you were surprised by?
Yeah, everything changed after Atlanta. I remember coming home and going out to dinner with my friends and walking into the restaurant, and I could feel that people knew who I was. I'd never felt that. But the thing I told JJ was, I just hope he really enjoys this. I put the trophy in my closet. I didn't even look at it because we've had. There's always another tournament. He's going to tee it up here. He bogeys the first hole. He's going to be bummed out. It's the way golf is. You win the Stanley Cup, you get to enjoy it for months on end. And I just hope he enjoys it. And for me, everything happened fast. I had been on the tour for only a year, so I didn't know what any of this media tours were. And I'm sure JJ's going through that, but my advice to him was to try to sit back and enjoy it and soak it all in.
In the very front here, Joe.
Keegan, has it been easier or hard juggling the responsibilities of captain and playing, and do you anticipate it getting much harder as we get close to the end of the FedEx Cup season with the Ryder Cup right around the corner?
Yeah, it's been certainly a challenge, but it hasn't affected any of my preparation, any of my practice. Certainly, when I'm practicing, I'm thinking about the Ryder Cup a lot. It's difficult for me to separate completely and be a player. Now, when I'm inside the ropes playing this week, that's really the only time in my life when I'm inside the ropes Thursday through Sunday where I can detach and be a player. But as soon as I walk outside those ropes or walk out of the scoring trailer, I have to assume that role again. And I really have enjoyed every second of this. There's been it hasn't affected me personally on the golf course, I don't think, but I really have enjoyed this so much. And I definitely with 100 days left, things are ramping up here a ton. But the guys that we have are such great guys. It's been a blast.
Just time for a few more on the right here, Jason.
Keegan, I was going to ask you about that. Based on what you just said there, is there a chance that being captain has actually helped your game and that you've got another outlet so you're not just thinking about your own golf all the time?
Definitely. On a normal day today, I went out and played, I'd be thinking about a shot that I hit or a shot I got to hit tomorrow or the new club that I'm worried about. And for the most part, I go and I'm thinking only about the Ryder Cup. I'm thinking about I'm looking at the points list, I'm looking at potential pairings, I'm talking to the scouts, I'm talking to the vice captains, we're talking about strategy, bus ride schedules, media schedules, and it is a very nice distraction for me, and when I'm normally 24/7 thinking about golf. So there is some aspects of this that have helped, I believe.
Perfect. That's all the questions we have. Keegan, thank you for the
Thank
time.
you.
All right. All right.